Mesopotamians 320 BC was an ancient region in the eastern Mediterranean bounded in the northeast by the Zagros Mountains and in the southeast by the Nebian Plateau. Egyptians 3150 BC, an ethnic group and the citizens of Egypt sharing a common culture and variety of Arabic. Stonehenge, 2000 BC, symbolizes mystery, power, and endurance. People suspect it was a temple made from worship of ancient earth. Desired original stones have fallen or been removed by previous generations for home construction or road repair. The Chinese made a recorded observations of eclipse at least as long ago as the 13th century BC, 900 solar eclipse and 600 lunar eclipse that were carefully recorded during a period of about 2,600 years. Thales, 624 BC, was the first known Greek philosopher, scientist, and mathematician. He is credited with 5 theorems of elementary geometry. Pythagoras, 570 BC, one of the first Greek mathematicians, thinkers. He created the Pythagorean theorem. Babylonians, 1894 BC, most powerful state in the ancient world after the fall of the Assyrians. Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, was a student of Plato. Aristotle accepted the model of Exodus, but modified it to include even more concentric spheres. Aristarchus, 300 BC, wrote his famous book on geometry. Aristarchus applied geometry to astronomy, showed that it is possible to use geometry to find the distance to the moon. He wrote this is 276 BC to 195 BC, used geometry to calculate the size of the Earth. Hipparchus, 134 BC, discovered a new star, one that increased in brightness enough to become visible to the naked eye for the first time. 200 BC to 250 AD, the pre-classic period covers from the start of the Maya civilization to 250 AD when the Maya civilization began its golden age. A lot of development took place during this period. The major cities during the period were El Mirador and Kamakju. Ptolemy, AD 127 to 151, was the last of the great astronomers or antiquity. His major accomplishment was the completion of a system that could accurately account for the motions of the planets using a combination of regular circular motions. Arabs. One of the most dramatic ascent movements of any people in history is the expansion by conquest of the Arabs in the 7th century. Only the example of Mongols in the 13th century can match it. The desert tribesmen of Arabia formed the bulk of Muslim armies. Their natural ferocity and love of warfare, together is the sense of moral research provided by their new religion from irresistible combination. Copernicus, 1473-1543, introduced the concept of a heliocentric system in which planets revolve around the sun.
Tycho Brahe made important contributions by devising the most precise instruments available before the invention of the telescope for observing the heavens. Brahe made his observations from Nuremberg on an island called Heaven. Kepler discovered 3 major laws of planetary motion, conventionally designated as follows. 1. The planets move in elliptical orbits with the sun. 2. The time necessary to traverse any arc of a planetary orbit is proportional to the area of the sector between the central body and that arc. 3. There is an exact relationship between the squares of the planets' periodic times and the cubes of the radii of their orbits. Isaac Newton was an English mathematician and physicist who invented calculus, formulated the law of gravitation, and discovered the laws of motion. He also investigated the nature of light, discovering that sunlight is made of light of different colors. The spectrum is in order from long to short wavelength: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Newton also developed a reflecting telescope. Albert Einstein developed the general theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics. He is best known for his mass-energy equivalence formula E equals mc squared. Bohr developed the Bohr model of the atom, in which he proposed that energy levels of electrons revolve in stable orbits around the atomic nucleus but can jump from one level to another. Pauli discovered the Pauli exclusion principle in 1925, which states that in an atom no two electrons can occupy the same quantum states simultaneously. Pauli made major contributions to quantum mechanics, quantum field theory, and solid-state physics. He successfully hypothesized the existence of neutrinos. Heisenberg devised a method to formulate quantum mechanics in terms of matrices, for which he was awarded the 1932 Nobel Prize for Physics. Edwin Hubble's discovery in 1929 that the universe is expanding focused attention on the idea that the universe may have started with some sort of explosion, but there was no sensible explanation for how such a beginning could produce the elements in the universe today. Lemaitre is usually credited with the first definitive formulation of the idea of an expanding universe, and what was to become known as the Big Bang theory of the origin of the universe, which Lemaitre himself called his hypothesis of primal atom, or the cosmic egg. Robert was responsible for collecting, coordinating, and leading the team that developed and detonated the first atomic bomb. He was also one of the principal proponents of using the bomb against the actual military target.